target that I need to have today? What's that next thing that if I do that right, it's going to get me a little bit closer to my big, juicy, fat goal, my exciting goal? And then what do I need to do tomorrow to get a little bit closer? And then what you end up doing is your life, your career becomes a culmination or a sum of all of these little advances that you're making each and every day towards your goal. And the reason that targets are so important is because your goals sometimes can be so big, they can seem so far away that you just need to know that next step so that you don't get distracted, you don't get off track, you don't get discouraged, and you don't lose track of the thing that is keeping you excited. You have something every single day that's keeping you accountable. And today, Grant will be on here in a minute here. To get us rolling, today we are talking about how to basically break the numbers down behind your target and how to quantify the thing that you need to do. Depending on the number that you have in your head, the thing that's going to make you happy, it could be, again, something that seems far away. I know when I got started with Grant 10 years ago, my goals were very different. I couldn't possibly think back then of the goals that I have for myself now. And when you start thinking with goals, immediately people move to mechanics. And they immediately move to how am I going to make it possible? And there's a lot of things that can jump in front of you. There's a lot of things that can be discouraging when you start moving into mechanics. That's why we typically stay out of mechanics when we start talking about goals. But what's important is the number. Numbers don't lie, and stats don't lie. Like graphs, when you plug in numbers and data to a graph into Excel or something, the graph always tells a story. And where goals can be, and targets can be an emotional thing, you can feel overwhelmed, you can feel lack of confidence, you can feel insecure, you can feel fearful, there's a lot of emotions that can happen around these commitments that you make. What's really important to understand is that the number 1 through 10, it's made up numbers. They never lie, and they'll tell you exactly the story that you need, and that's why stats are important. So if you want to make $500 grand this year, then you know that you need to do $1,800 in sales every day. If you know that you want to make $1 million, you need to know that you need to make $3,000 a day. So you get down to the point where the numbers will always tell you the story that you need to hear, not necessarily the story that you want to hear. And targets and how you basically realize your targets. We've got some great exercises today. But these weekly, daily, there's a section in here for you to go through and actually go through and determine what these goals are and help you break them down into something that's more digestible. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Grant will be here in a minute. But while we wait, I just want to see real quick in the chat, go ahead and post where you're coming in from. These groups, guys, as much as they are about giving you some tactics and some information, they're also about connecting with people, building networks and relationships with people from your area, your neck of the woods, around the world. Adelaide, Australia, in the house. Melbourne, Florida, in the house. Get connected with these folks. See if you guys can do meetups. Like we always say, the narrow road. There aren't a lot of people on the narrow road, and so when you can get together with people who are on that same path and that same journey, then it makes it a little less lonely. It makes it a little easier. And that's why we want you guys to get connected with other people in these groups. And hopefully you can create some relationships that will last beyond just this group. And so without me having to tell more jokes and stall any longer, I'm just waiting for Grant to hit me back and let me know that he's coming in right now. Okay, good. Let me get him the link. Okay, he's popping in right now. So my bring you in real quick because you have had an interesting journey with us. In addition to all the folks that are in the Zoom room, there's a bunch of people watching on Facebook as well. But I want you just to share a little bit about, how long ago you found Grant. Seemed like you were skeptical at first, and then what's happened to you. And then we just actually we shared your video this morning in the meeting to the office, so I think it'd be great if you could share.
Yeah, so funny enough, I got that 10X book.
I can't hear you, Mike.
What's going on?
Your microphone situation.
Is it working?
Can't hear you. Nope. It's probably going to sound something like this. Oh, you guys can hear him? Okay, so maybe it's me.
I can hear him too.
Go ahead, Michael.
All right, how am I now? Hello?
Good, man. I can hear you.
Yeah, everybody can hear me? Jared, can you hear me? I can see anybody.
We can hear you.
All right, everybody can hear me. So here's the thing. I read the 10X book a few years ago, several years ago, but my real reaction with Grant was at the 10X Growth Con in Miami. And I brought my son with me. And what was amazing is this man skydived from an airplane into the stadium to kick off the meeting. And that was my first experience with Grant. Love hearing him talk, love what he was saying, got involved with him. Really, actually the next step was I signed up for this boot camp, the sales boot camp. And that was a much smaller event. And what was amazing to me is we were able to ask Grant questions, and really it was a much more personal event. And I learned so much from that boot camp. I loved it so much, I actually brought my wife back to it and a few other people. And everything since then, I really try to get involved in everything. I'm kind of, it's funny. I need to hear things over and over and over again. My wife, she hears things one time, she does it. I need it pounded into my head all the time, right? So the thing for me is I always want to be around this. This energy makes me totally pumped. This energy helps me. It reminds me every day to keep focused. And I've really engaged big time, so much so that I actually hired Grant this year for one-on-one coaching too, which, I'm all in. And I love the message. And
Michael,
Grant.
just so you know, all that money goes to charity. So all of you out here, you ever buy a private coaching session with me? Or like Michael, he bought four sessions. All the money goes to Grant Cardone Foundation.
That's awesome.
And make sure you get in here how you did last year.
What was that?
How you did last year, how you finished up.
So I sent them a message because they like hearing success stories. So when you get success stories, let them know. So I'm in the financial business. I mainly do retirement planning and a lot of annuities. And I finished, it was officially announced this morning, I finished number one out of 300 agents in the place that I do business with. And the amazing thing is, we used to do dinner seminars, couldn't do them this year. A few other people in other areas were still doing them. And I was the only one who wasn't doing them. And I actually beat all these people doing the dinner seminars because we switched to virtual selling. And it was really so much help with COVID when I was in these mentoring groups. And we actually, my wife and I did a one-on-one coaching session last year with Grant. He helped us so much. Everybody there has been so helpful, but the virtual selling, really, we took a turn and did that instead of dinner seminars. But the cool thing is, I finished number one 2 years ago as well. There's no one else in my organization who actually hit number one twice. So it's pretty cool. But the funny thing is,
give it up for Mike. Come on, guys, give it up. Show him some love. Lots of love for you.
Guys, every time you hear success, man, you need to remember this. Write it down. Every time you hear it, you need to praise it. It doesn't have to be yours. You got to love on it. You got to applaud on it. You got to raise your hands to it. You need to find successful people. Find them and say, hey, I want to thank you for being successful in my community. I want to thank you for being successful in the church. I want to thank you for being successful with your bank account, with your kids. Like, find something good about people because it's easy to find something bad.
All right, you ready to get rolling tonight, G? You're muted. Hang on, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm ready because I want more success stories like Michael.
Yeah. Well, I did
Yeah.
a beautiful 8-minute intro for you. So
Yes. Oh, you want to do that, or you already?
no. They're good. They're ready to roll.
Yeah. So just so everybody knows here, I'm sorry I'm late. By the way, I was just banging from one thing to the next. I hate being late. The reason we do this, whether you're watching right here in a private Zoom call or you're on Facebook, our number one currency at our company is what Michael just did. The successes of our clients are our currency. Every Michael represents tens of millions of dollars for us. It's not the people that give us money, okay, that cause our business to grow. Money doesn't grow our business. Your success grows our business. So, and then what we do here is we give platforms for people to actually, so that we can show off Michael's success when we do our conference every year that we'll be doing on March 12th, 13th, and 14th of this year in Miami. That event in the future will only be for people that are partners and clients. And nobody will pay anything. It'll be investors, it'll be partners, it'll be clients. It'll be 12,000 person event. That is our goal. I'm just telling you our goal. Tonight's about math. Our goal will be to put 12,000 people in an event. No one pays anything. We'll still spend the same amount of money, and it will be simply there to show off the successes of our company. And an event that cost me $7 or $8 million to put on will make us 70 million or 100 million rather than just a double. And we won't charge a penny to anybody. So you get the math there? I just gave you where my business is going. Part of being here is we give you the insides of what we're doing. If you guys are watching Undercover Billionaire, I was so excited to drop this coaching around the Undercover Billionaire show, because you're going to hear me doing things, and then Wednesday night you can watch me do things. So Discovery called me tonight and just said, man, we're looking over the footage that you produced. We think we made a mistake putting all 3 people in. I'm like, yeah, really? They're like, we could have literally done 24 weeks with just your content, because we have the public is calling Discovery right now saying, more of Cardone. I want to see how he did that, how he got that. What was he thinking? Like it's going crazy. So if any of you are having that same experience, hey man, don't feel bad to write Discovery and just slam them. Just say, hey, I want to see what the dude was thinking when he went to the RV park. What was he thinking? How did he figure out to ask for $10,000, not $1,000? Why did the first person he picked up help him? How did he know to go to that guy? Why did he go to that place? So, because by the time this 12 weeks plays on Discovery, I'll promise you're going to be like, did he really just do that? So one other thing I just want to share with you, that whole thing that you're going to see me lay out over 12 weeks was done with what I'm going to share with you tonight. Last week we talked about, Jared,
Goals and targets.
goals and targets. The entire time I had a very crystallized target. $10 million business. So when I woke up with altitude sickness, when I got COVID, when they stopped it, when I got quarantined, when I got disappointed, when people wouldn't see me, when their cameras were in the way, I just went back to the target. Okay, write this down. Mornings and night, write your target. And third time you want to write them, anytime you're disappointed. Every time I got disappointed in those 90 days, anytime I got disappointed, discouraged, I wanted to quit. After I called my mama, I called Elena, Mama, what did I do? Crying like a little baby. Called my kids, please, you guys all right? Really, I was just calling to nurture myself. I called Jared at night. How we doing over there, man? How we doing? Are you doing your job? We making any money? You know, every time I called anybody, the truth is I was just calling because I was beat up. And when the call was over, I'm like, what is my target? The way to get yourself back in the game is to focus on the target, particularly when you're discouraged. discouragement comes from the past, not the future. So if you're disappointed, you're discouraged, you feel rejection, you are in the past. How helpful is that? So Michael could call me up and say, man, I did this deal yesterday because I'm coaching, and I did this deal yesterday and it didn't come through. You're in the past, bro. There ain't no money there. Oh, I learned from my failures. There ain't no money in yesterday. Ain't no money in it. Everybody's got a story. How many of you got a story here? You got a sad story. Something bad happened to you. Your brother touched you in that terrible place. Your daddy did something. He wasn't there for you. He abandoned you. He was there too much. He was a control freak, or he wasn't there. Whatever your story is. My daddy was an alcoholic. Mama was a drug addict. They weren't there. They worked too much. They got a divorce. Whatever, right? It's in the past, man. Ain't no money in the past. Your future cannot be behind you. So the way I did for 90 days, last week was about targets. I knew I had a target and then compress time around it and have a very specific period of time around you to achieve the target, not the goal. The goal of Undercover Billionaire was not $10 million. The goal that caused me to do Undercover Billionaire is 7 billion people know my name. That's the goal. Unachievable probably in this lifetime. The target is do Undercover Billionaire, $10 million target, 90 days, no matter what it takes. See the difference? You got to get your big goal, the purpose, the why, whatever you're trying to accomplish, the big giant thing, probably unachievable in this lifetime. Should be. And then the little targets over little short periods of time. Everything we do at our company are really short. Our next big event's what? March 12th, Jared?
Yep.
Everything we will push for the next 30 days will be March 12th, 13th, 14th, 10X Growth Conference, 2,000 people, highly qualified, able, committed people that will travel from around the world to spend 3 days with us in Miami, Florida, one block from my offices, with the likes of Glenn Stearns, the whole panel of Undercover Billionaire. The names, Jared, help me out.
You want all of them?
Yeah. Why not? This is our people. The inside. Y'all want all of them? Y'all want the names? Go ahead,
So
Jared.
I don't want to give all of them yet.
Okay.
Let me just give a couple.
Don Peebles.
Don Peebles
Runs a multi-billion-dollar company, has for years. He's a man of color, and he broke through and cracked the diversity code.
And he's one of the top 40 wealthiest African Americans in the country.
Boom.
We also have Glenn Stearns.
And the whole Undercover Billionaire panel. I'm trying to bring all those guys in and the producers behind the scenes. Glenn Stearns is worth about $500-600 million.
Also have Armando Christian Perez.
Yeah, y'all know who that is?
Some of you guys know him as Pitbull, the artist. So
And he will not be performing. He will not be performing. He will not be dancing. He will be sharing with you how he has stayed current and relevant for 25 years.
Also will be a fan favorite of our community, Mr. Jesse Itzler. He will be back this year, and
Superstar Jesse Itzler, okay?
Yep.
Got a freaking very strong message about how anyone can do anything, even with no experience.
Yep, figuring it out along the way. Brandon Dawson's going to be back this year. He's the co-founder of Cardone Ventures. Took his company from zero with his own money, sold it for $160 million, and had a pretty big score. So he helps our clients on Cardone Ventures side scale. So Sir Julian is asking in the comments, I need help scaling. Cardone Ventures is the vehicle that we have to help you do that. Also confirmed.
A-Rod's going to be there. You know,
Mike Rowe from
Dirty Jobs, bad man, freaking
Yep.
rapper, scraper.
So no more. Let's keep the rest
Okay, good.
Under
You know, I always bring some superstars. We always say 3 or 4 secrets. We got some super entertainment. So anyway, what I'm telling you is I have really short targets and we compress on the time. Now what we have to do is what this week's about. Okay, I'm literally looking from our launch 2021 workbook. You either have this or you didn't order it. How do they get it, Jared, if they want it?
GrantCardone.com/launch workbook. GrantCardone.com/launch workbook.
Okay. GrantCardone.com/launch workbook.
Yep.
How much is it?
$47.
$47. It covers all 4 or 5 weeks that we're going to be doing this.
And it also includes the recordings of it as well. So it's
Okay, good. So this week is about math. Okay, this week is about math. Now the math. So if I want to build a $10 million business, like it's math. It's mindset. Yeah, it is mindset in the beginning until you get the target. Once you get the target, it ain't mindset anymore. You got to move from the mindset to the math. Otherwise, it's just going to stay in your head and never end up at the bank. Oh my God, this is good. Shit, if I knew I was going to be this good tonight, I would have charged myself. Okay? Look, if you can't take it out of here and bring it to the bank, then what you're going to do is if you never end up with any bank, you're going to lose it here. How many agree with that? You can't just keep talking to yourself. That's why all the authors, no offense, I'm trying to be respectful, the authors of the Secret kept it a secret to themselves, that is, because they never made it to the bank. Literally none of them actually ever did anything except write a book that caused people to think, oh man, it's what I say to myself. It is not what you say to yourself. It's what they say about you when you go to the bank because of what you said to yourself. Okay, your self-worth should end up being a reflection of your net worth. If your self-worth is not moving your net worth, you're not doing math. Okay, I'm talking about simple math, though. I'm not talking about complicated algebra and trigonometry or statistics. Okay, I got $1 million target and I got 90 days. What's the math on that? All right, how many different ways can you chop up? By the way, I've been clubbing all day today, just so you guys know. Mayweather's at the club and I'm at the club, just a different club. So I'm talking about Clubhouse. You got to chop it up. You got to chop that target up. If it's $1 million, okay, and I have 90 days, there's so many different ways I can chop this up. I can take $1 million divided by 90 days. And what would that be, Jerry?
11,111 if the crowd is right on that.
Yeah, $11,111. Okay, I'm like, wow, man, is that possible? I'm in Pueblo, Colorado. I don't have shelter. I don't have water. I don't have food. How am I going to pick up 11 grand the first day? By the way, if I miss the first day, then I got to divide 89 days into $1 million. So I'm like, oh, wow, am I worth 11 grand a day? There's nothing you can do the first day you get into a town to earn 11 grand a day without breaking the law. So actually what I did was I didn't worry about making money. How many of you seen the show? Just post yes or UB. Put UB over there if you saw the show. UB for Undercover Billionaire. Yeah. Okay, good. So a lot of you saw the show, I see. Okay, so look. Notice, and Discovery didn't show this, but I didn't try to make money the first 2 weeks. All I tried to do was collect contacts. So one thing is money. So if you do math, I'm sitting there doing math on a legal pad. They didn't show it because they didn't cut it right. Now, I'm going to produce my own show, my own movie. But because they didn't cut it right, you don't see me saying, oh, wow, screw the money. I need the contacts. And I started making a list of contacts. 112,000 people live in Pueblo. So I took $1 million and I divided it by 112,000 people. $8.33 a person. Oh yeah, much more doable. So there's a second way. Everybody feeling me right now? Notice I am not spending any time on what product, what service, or what company. I have zero idea on the business. What am I following?
The money, contact.
You guys, some of you guys are jumping in businesses that will never work because you love the business. You love the idea. Because you heard Steve Jobs say, hey, do something you're passionate about. Dude, he said that after he'd been fired from Apple, hired back by Apple, and when he was a billionaire. It's easy. It's easy, man. It's easy to give advice once you've climbed Mount Everest and come down. But it's not the same thing when you're going up that hill. So be careful where you're getting that advice from. Understand where you're getting the advice from when a guy says, follow your passions. Yeah, he already made it. When you're struggling and you're starting a business, you need to follow the money. It's simple math. How many people do I need to meet? What dollar amount can they give me? And how much time do I have? Number of units times the number of people plus time. It's what I do in real estate. It's what I did in Undercover Billionaire. And you hit your targets or you come up short. So first thing is last week, have a big target. Have a big giant target. Second thing is do the math. Okay? In order to realize your goals and targets, really your targets over short periods of time and then long goals over long periods of time, you have to put math behind them. Goals can seem far, far away, and they should be. But numbers will help you understand and clarify the path and the vehicle necessary. See, some of you are picking vehicles and don't even know the trip you're taking. Okay, now I'm gonna wrap this up in a second, but do you understand what I just said? Like, if you got it in a car and you had to go, you didn't have any money. You got in a car and it only had 6 gallons of gas. And the car gets 30 miles to the gallon, but the trip's 250 miles. Would that be important to know? Kind of. Then you got to figure out, what am I going to do here? I mean, I know what I'm going to do. If I have 250 miles to go and 180 miles of gas, I'm going to drive as fast as I can and get as far as I can, and then I'm going to trash the car. I'm not going to go try to replace the car now. I don't have that problem yet. So one thing you'll see me do, and then we talk about in our coaching sessions, we talk about when we strategically align with a company, is priority intelligence. What number matters? What number matters today? Okay, all numbers are not equal. What is the priority today? Do I want a contact or do I want a dollar? If you notice, the girls on the show, not that they're girls, because Glenn did the same thing. It has nothing to do with the sex. The two girls that, Monique and Elaine, that are in the show with me, they went out and decided to get $15 an hour jobs. Seems kind of stupid to me. I'm just saying, I'm watching these people. I'm like, what's the point? Well, work for nothing. Do you know that you have a better chance of making money if you did it for nothing than if you do it for 15? When the people give them $15 to pick grapes, they're even. When the people pay me nothing, they owe me. And that's what you guys are missing in life. You're actually looking for a handout. Those two girls wanted a handout. Please put something in my hand. I'm like, please keep your money. I don't want your money because you can never pay me enough for the hour. That's why I told Matt Smith, don't pay me anything. And if you notice, if you go back and watch the show, if you haven't watched it, go to Discovery. You can go back to the last Wednesday in your recorder. If you got a smart TV, you can literally watch the show again, record it. There are so many gems in that show. When he offered me money, I said, no, do not pay me. I do not want money. I do not need your money. Okay? I said, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to run a promotion for you. I'm going to create everything for you. You're going to spend about $6,000 on this. Boom. There was my paycheck. I dropped it in right there. You're going to spend about $6,000. I'm going to do all the work, all the production, all the creative. I'm going to print everything, get everything, post it, put it up outside, and I'm going to pitch it all weekend long. And that 6 is going to turn into 15. And you decide, what do you want, Grant? I want nothing. I just want to prove to you what I can do for you. So what did I get out of that exchange? I got him to pay the $6,000. I got him to invest in him and his business. I got him to give me an opportunity, and I didn't have to spend any money to do that. I then would negotiate a $10,000 per month check and 15% of his company because of that one move. While these two girls are out there trying to get $15 an hour for doing whatever they're doing with grapes. Okay? By week two, I had 2 vehicles, 1 RV, a $10,000 check, and 15% of the guy's future earnings. It was just math. It was just math. And it was having a bigger target than necessary. Okay, you understand? When Discovery gave me $1 million target, I said, make it 10. Which what? Forces me, compresses me, and forces me to become more creative. Okay, so do the math. Numbers never lie. You want to write this down. Numbers never lie. You're taking notes too, Jared, right? Because we'll make sure you guys get the transcript of this and you get the video of this. This is gold right here, folks. I'm doing this tonight for you guys because I want you to be part of our family. And you can't be part of my family until you're in good condition. Because you can't help my family if you're all broken up at the bank. You just can't. Sorry. I love you. We can high five, but if you can't get your bank account right, you can't help my family when we're in need. Getting a bank account's tough, man. You got to get it, you got to keep it, and you got to multiply it. That's tough. A lot of people can do one of them and not the other two. We know plenty of people that got money, had money, and lost it. I know a lot of people that got money, saved it over their lifetime, and never did anything with it. My mama, when my daddy died, my mama had the same amount of money when she died that when my dad died. Same amount, never changed. It's like she had a thermostat set on $100,000. Okay? Let's see, Jared, I think I said something. Oh, yeah, numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. Numbers never lie. Unless, of course, you lie. You know what I'm saying? Because the numbers might be false, right? The numbers could be false. So don't lie to yourself when you're doing numbers. That's why the first thing I do every day is I look at my bank account. Every single day, I get a report. Every checking account. I've been doing this for 37 years. First thing I do every morning is I get every account I have. Checking, savings, retirement account, Fidelity account, Schwab account. Even when it's zero, I look at it. I look at it until I'm sick to my stomach and I got to throw up. And the goal is to dump those bad boys out all the time and go back to zero. Because I know when I don't have a parachute, I can fly. When I don't have somebody saving me, I can do anything. Anytime a Discovery Channel tried to step in and help me, I'm like, leave me alone. Stay out of my business. And they tried to help me. I'll promise you. One day they brought me this deal. Hey, we got this guy. Keep it to yourself. If it's your idea, it's got to be bad. You guys produce TV shows. You've never built a $10 million business in 90 days. I don't want your help. Don't give me a handout. You cripple me. Handouts or handcuffs. Why? Why? Because they trap creativity. Okay, $100 is a handcuff. That's why I got rid of the $100, because it forced me to go pitch people, guys, I don't have any money. You know how hard it is to tell this story? I don't have any money. I don't have a place to stay. My kids, they dropped it out of the show, but my story was, hey, I left my kids in LA and my wife with all the money. They have all my money. I came here literally with nothing except an old truck and a full tank of gas. So anything you can do to give me help, job, opportunity, point me in the right direction. Okay, but tonight I need a place to sleep. So, see, the reason I could do that math is because I didn't have anything. If you guys think you have something, you're going to add your bank account to your math. And when you add your bank account to your math, I made this mistake the first 3 years I was in business because I had a bank account. Guess what? I funded my first business out of my bank account. How many of you believe I could have funded my first business with no money had I not had a savings account? I would have. I was meant to do this. I was meant to be successful. I was meant to get to this place. And had I not had a savings account, had I not been able to access that money, had I not been able to get a loan, I'd have done it anyway. I would have just done it by calling on more people. I'd have done the math. Okay? So when you do the math, how long do you have? What is your income target? How long do you have? Is it a 3-month target, 12-month target, 24-month target? Okay, what is the average sale price? What is the average customer worth? How many people would you need to meet? How many contacts do you need to make? I tell you guys in the 10X rule. Look, if you think it takes 1 contact, multiply it times 10. If you think it takes 10, multiply it times 10. If you think it takes 20, multiply it times 10. Whatever you think it takes, multiply. Because I'll promise you, you are underestimating setbacks. Who here has had more setbacks in their life than they would have ever thought they'd have? Okay? Dude, like, who started 2020 thinking, oh yeah, this year we're going to have a pandemic?
2020, get that money. That was the slogan.
Okay. Who thought in January last year, 2020, oh, this year, shit, this is going to be the year of the mask. This year, bars and restaurants in the United States will be shut down permanently for like, nobody thought any of that. We underestimate possibilities. Okay? Nobody thought, hey man, this like I could go on and on with things that have happened. The Capitol, they're gonna burn the Capitol down or whatever they did the other day, right? Okay, so do the math. $1 million, 90 days. I need 11 grand a day. Oh wow, what if I can't get 11 grand? Who's got my money? I don't have a product, don't have a service. If you don't have a product or a service, then you got to ask this question. Who's got my money? First the target, then the service. Now, if there's 112,000 people in Pueblo, I then ask myself, how many businesses are in Pueblo? Because when you ask yourself who's got your money, 112,000 people do not have it. So I'm like, I wonder how many businesses are in this town. Oh, there's like 500 businesses in Pueblo. Good. That's the list I made, and that's who I went after. Because businesses have money. Okay? The math will lead you to the vehicle. The math will show you the way to the customer. When you're going through your book on page 5, know your numbers. Okay? I need this many sales per day, per week, per month. I need this many contacts. I need this much per sale. And then you will start creating products and services out of that. Maybe some of you have seen my $1 million math. 1 times a million's a million. 10 times 100 grand's a million. 100 times 10,000's a million. 1,000 times the thousand's a million. 10,000 times 100's a million. That's how we come up with our product line. By the way, that's how we priced our stuff. Okay, let's open it up to questions. You guys got it? I pound you enough on math? What's your specific goals? This says, what are your top 10, 20, 21 goals? That should say targets, not goals. What are your lifetime goals? What are your 2021 targets? What are your January targets? What are your February targets? What are your March targets? How many ways can you chop it up? Who's got my money? How long you got? Volume times gross plus time. Volume, number of units, times the margin, $1,000, price, plus time. I want to get to $20 billion. I know exactly what I have to do. And the answer will always be this. Who? Who's got my money? Who's got my target? All right? Y'all want to do some questions? You guys on Facebook, how can the people on Facebook be part of the private mentorship, Jared, and get the
Yeah,
book?
so if they want to get into the VIP section, then it's grantcardone.com/launch VIP.
And the
Launch
workbook
VIP.
is what? What is the workbook?
grantcardone.com/launch workbook.
Okay, so if you guys want any of that stuff, that's how you get it. I expect to see everybody here, everybody at the 10X Growth Conference. The way to get your ticket there is 10xgrowthcon.com. I think 1 or 2 levels are already sold out. This is going to be the smallest growth, most intimate, exclusive growth conference we've ever had. And we didn't increase our prices, just so you know. There's going to be 2,000 people there rather than 12,000, just because of what's going on around the country. And the website for that is 10xgrowthcon.com. What do we have left for tickets, Jared? Just three levels.
It's a wait list for Diamond right now. People that have travel plans, you know, we might get a ticket or 2 that comes available every day, but then those go really fast. We've got less than 50 VIP tickets left, and then we've got probably 80 or so premier tickets. So getting kind of down to the wire on tickets, I think there's 28 rooms left at the hotel. So the hotel's almost completely sold out. Believe me, you want to stay at the hotel is where everybody's at. It's like a hub. You're going to meet so many people. You'll do millions of dollars of business will be done at the venue, and it's almost sold out. So if you already have your tickets, make sure you book your hotel.
But if you had somebody you could Airbnb with here in Miami, do it. You know, do it. Save yourself some money. There's nothing wrong with that. You get there early, stay late. There's parties every night. Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, super parties, great connection, great networking. It is a super event. It is the biggest event we do each year, and it's a way for us to get to know you guys better, you to get to know us better, and everybody will pay less than I pay for this event. Okay, this event could cost us about probably $5 or $6 million to put on this year, even though it's smaller. And the most you can pay is how much?
6.5.
The most you guys can pay is, I think, $10,000 or $20,000 bucks. So, okay, the launch workbook. I think somebody because people are asking about the launch workbook. It's in Miami. The event's in Miami, March 12th, 13th, 14th. Best weather of the year is Miami, March. The workbook, if you want it, the VIP link is there. Let's open it up to questions.
Let's go to Omar Herrera first.
Omar, how you doing?
Hey Grant, how you doing? Thank you for taking my question. So,
Thank you, brother.
My question is, what mistakes did you avoid in Undercover Billionaire?
Well, first mistake I avoided, great question, by the way, is selling my time for money. I never got a job. There's nothing wrong with getting a job, but if I had a year to do that deal, I would have got a job the first 30 days. I did not have time to get a job. So I don't know what kind of business these other 2 people are going to create, but I assure you, and I'd be willing to bet money, my business lasts longer than theirs does. So I don't know why when you're going for $1 million, you'd go get a job. I'm sorry, I don't know why if you want to make $1 million in 90 days, you go start a new business. To me, if you want to get, you want to get from where you are to the bank, or you want to get from where you are to another place, you can just go jump in somebody's car that's going there. They actually tried to build a new business. I don't know why you'd start over. There's 34 million. If you did math, you would never start a new business in America. If you did the math, you would never start a new business in America. There's no reason to start a new business in America. There's 34 million businesses in America now. 22 million of them barely make money. There's too many businesses in America. America's not saying, I need a new company. So what I would do if I'm a startup, or I'm a guy with an idea, I'm going to go find somebody. If there's a beauty, like I like beauty salon, or I want to be in the beauty salon business, then I'm going to go find somebody in the beauty salon business that's dying, suffering, but they spent the last 20 years building a brand, and they're tired, they're exhausted. COVID punched them out. They're done. I'm going to go take over the company, let them keep 25%, and I'm going to own 75% of a company that's already got a brand, already got a lease, already got a footprint, already in business, and I'm going to just take it over. I ain't going to go start a bank. I'm going to go rob one.
All right, let's go to
By the
Jocelyn.
way, you guys are going to see me rob a bank on Undercover Billionaire.
Jocelyn Van Coney.
Hi, Grant.
Yes,
Hi.
ma'am.
So here is my question for both you and maybe Jared too. So one thing that's always kind of plagued me is figuring out how many contacts I exactly need to make my targets. I mean, I know exactly how much we need to sell and different things like that. And since I did the first mastermind and stuff with you guys in 2019 going forward, I've gotten very focused on what we do as a company. But we don't have enough data yet for me to tell you how many people I need to call.
Okay, so what was it last week? What was it last week?
Last week I talked to 4 people and I sold 3 of them.
Oh my God. Okay.
So it wasn't huge numbers, but it's been some of the best numbers we've had over the last 2 years, just because of some things that we're going
so like I just need, so the first thing I say is, wow, what if you had 40, you talk to 40 people?
through.
So
I
10
agree with you.
40 people is not going to equal 30 because somebody's going to make them sloppier. They're going to make excuses, or they're going to have problems, or you might not even be able to make the 40 phone calls. But I would have the target for that activity to be 40,
Okay.
and whatever you end up with is going to be greater than what you have now.
Right.
So it's not. Some of it's made up. By the way, my target's made up, my goals are made up, so why wouldn't, on the way there, I make some stuff up,
That makes sense.
right? So then you're like, I can't make 40 phone calls because I spent 17 hours with 3 people. Okay, and then you're like, oh, I need to hire somebody. Boom. And you just follow the money. And you follow the numbers and follow the people, and then follow the target. You do whatever gets you to the target.
In our team, we break it down from you got a deal, how many clients did you have to pitch in order to get one deal, how many appointments did you have to make in order to get a presentation or a demo where the customer showed up, and then how many calls did you have to make to get an appointment. So you break it all down to like a
And the more activity you have, the more that'll start showing itself. In the beginning, you just gotta 4 was 3. Okay, 40. What's 40 gonna be?
Okay.
The more numbers you do, the more you'll get that reality, right? I don't want you to spend a lot of time just collecting numbers. In the beginning, I just want you to 10x and be sloppy.
massive action. Massive
Okay.
action.
That makes complete sense.
Jocelyn, I want you to drive your closing rate down.
Okay.
I want you to drive your conversion rate down and explode your activity. So when people ask me about my conversion rate, in the beginning, I don't care about my conversion rate. I care about my activity first. I'll get my conversion rate better.
Mhm.
If you keep your conversions where you are, you'll go out of business, and you have the highest conversions of any human being I've ever talked to.
Well, yeah, and I'm very aware that I will go out of business if I keep them where they are. So
Yeah, exactly. So we ran an ad on the growth on Discovery. How many of you saw my little ad that I popped into the show? This fucking ad was sick. I'm like, dang, dog, that's good. Our conversion rate. What do y'all think the conversion was? Maybe some of you heard it. This is to a brand new audience, by the way, mostly brand new audience. 10%. Oh yeah, some of you know 3%, 2%. Yeah, some of you heard me say this. 74.6%. Highest conversion rate of any single thing we've ever done in our career. Why was that? Because it was placed in the right spot. And then when they pushed to the landing page, the message was just perfect for that audience. If I drop that same commercial on Gold Diggers or Gold
Rush.
or Naked and Afraid, it would be like it would go to zero. Right? Also, Discovery Channel, just so you guys know, did not want me to place that ad. In fact, they told us 3 times that we couldn't place the ad. So, tell you a little story behind the story. I wired them a check for $1 million on 12/30. I said, okay, give this to your president. Now tell me if it's still no. And they came back and said, Miss Nancy wants you to be able to run this ad. I said, God damn, isn't that crazy? Well, heaven forbid. So, you guys that say money don't matter, got me a damn ad. Okay, we will pay for the entire $1 million on one running the ad one time. But you got to be in that position, right? I'm trying to get you guys in that position. I know that sounds egotistical and arrogant and big flex. It is the big flex. And you can flex big if you understand numbers. Because you'll have the courage. I would have borrowed the money to do that, by the way, because I know that's going to work.
Scott Latorno.
Hey Grant, welcome from Las Vegas. How you doing?
Come on, man. Somebody just posted, if you understand the numbers, you will have courage. 1,000%.
The new guy.
So Grant, I have a real estate question about money if I can.
Please.
So I heard you're talking today in Clubhouse about multifamily homes, right? And my wife and I, we were going to invest in another vacation rental. We have one in Wisconsin where we're at, an Airbnb, which has worked out really well. Then I heard you talk about going to the next level in these multifamily homes, and we might have like $50,000 to put in. We're going to buy another property. How do we take that and get to a multifamily home situation? I heard your criteria in the different cities.
Yeah. So what you do, Scott, is what you do is you go for the target. Okay. You've already heard me say 16 units, preferably 32. That's the target, and then you back into it. You have 50,000. You go to 9 other guys. They each throw in 50,000. You now have $500,000. $500,000 will buy you $2 million worth of real estate in your market. Boom. It's over. Rather than you buying a piece of property that you can get into with $50,000, now you're buying the right piece of property that you can actually make money on.
And I appreciate that. What are your thoughts about the 9 other people? What's the best way to approach that?
What's the best place to do what?
Or the best way to approach the 9 other people?
Dude, I'm putting $50,000 in it. You should too.
Okay.
Okay, I'm opening up to 9 guys that can do 50. I'm gonna have 50. I know the property. I'm buying the deal. It's a great deal. It's gonna earn like 80 times what you earn at the bank right now. Do you have $50,000 in the bank? No. Next.
Okay.
You shouldn't be talking to people that don't have $50,000. You guys got to learn this one. Quit spending time with people that don't have what you want. Oh my God, Grant, you're so hard. I'm not so hard. I'm trying to take care of the people I love. And if I'm spending time with people that can't help me, how can I help the people I love? You guys got to pick, man. You don't need to pick grapes, but you do need to pick. So when I was in, you'll see this, I think this coming week, I'm going to go into a meeting and I tap Matt on the shoulder and I'm like, I'm out of here. And I literally walk out of the meeting and he comes and says, what's going on? There ain't nothing here, bro. He's like, you can't do that in Pueblo. Oh yeah, I just did. He didn't know. When you live in a town and you're going to be there for the next 30 years, you might not be able to do that. I did not have a choice. I had to do that because I need to go to the next guy that can give me what I want. By the way, if you live in a town for 30 years and you're going to be there for 30 years, you could definitely walk out of that meeting too and repair the damage later.
Thanks, Grant.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
John West.
Hello. So the question I have, I know, Grant, you talk a lot about your spirituality and
Hang on
some
one second. Quit spending time with people that don't have what you want. Somebody asked the question, Shanna. Quit spending time with people that don't have what you want. If they're not qualified to help you with what you want, quit spending time there. Do you have 50 grand? Are you liquid? Will you make an investment? Okay? Ryan at the RV park, he had what I wanted, a place to sleep. I also wanted to start a business with him. He had no interest. Next. I'm moving out of that RV park in the 3rd week. I have to get out of there. I went to the RV park. I didn't go there for a bed. I went there to buy the place. Okay.
John,
Yeah,
go ahead.
so I hear you talk about some of the things that are going through your head when you're going through this process. My question to you is, what are some of the stable datums or some things that you had going through your mind for spirituality? Is that something you were even able to focus on, or just by you aligning with your mission and targets, was that a spiritual thing for you?
Yeah, I got to tell you, bro, like, I felt like God completely abandoned me. Like, I was beat up bad. Like, you don't see it in this thing because I got my swag on, because you can't show it. I can't show that I'm beat up. I was destroyed. I was either depleted. I had altitude sickness most of the entire 3 months. I'm greatly affected by anything over about 7,000 feet. I don't know why. It doesn't bother Jared as much as it bothers me, but it bothers me terribly. I got COVID. I was sick from COVID. I got quarantined. But more importantly than the sickness, dude, I was like fighting with the crew constantly. So my team, nobody fights with me in Miami. You've ever been to my company? Ain't nobody fighting Grant there. With those guys, they were fighting me everywhere we went. Time, schedule, time, when I start something, when can we be someplace? They're getting in my way. Like, it did not help me that there was cameras there. So, the whole time I'm like wanting to quit. I wanted to quit more than I wanted to stay. And the thing that got me through it was not my belief in God, which I have a great belief in a power greater than myself and in a spiritual life. What got me through this was Elena prodding me. If it wasn't for Elena, and the kids, I would have quit the deal. And then at some point, I got so invested, I knew they had enough footage that they were going to play it. At some point, I got invested to the point I'm going to look like an idiot if I walk out now. So somewhere around 6 or 7 weeks, then I was stuck in the deal.
All right, let's go to Judith Viado.
Yeah, exactly, Clint. I didn't want to say I failed the family. How am I going to tell Sabrina and Scarlett I quit? It makes sense of it.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Somebody said God is omnipresent, but I'm telling you, while I was in Pueblo, he was not there.
Okay, thank you, Grant, and thank you, Jared. I just wanna first, before I ask my questions, is that since we have been following you and enrolled on so many of actually of your programs, we are making difference in our business, and I'm very, very thankful, and even on our mindset. We've just finished
Uh-oh, I lost her.
We might have lost her.
Yeah, she's doing great too, man. Sounds like, where is she, Jared? Do you know where she's coming in
There she
from?
goes. There she goes. Right here. She's back. You're back.
Judith, where do you live, Judith?
Sydney, Australia.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
So since
What time is it there right now?
it's 1 o'clock p.m.
Okay, thank you for being part of this.
Yes, always, waking up in the morning and all that. But
Yeah.
before I ask my question, I just want to share with the other 170 here in my group where I am now that I'm very, very thankful that I found both of you and Elena and also to Jared and to Brandon listening all this. Just like, oh, bum, And since I've completed
The Jared, I like that, the Jared.
since I've completed the audio book, listening to audiobook of Elena, my husband is like completely 100% supportive my journey. Sometimes he would say, "Why do you keep thinking that you can make that money?" Because I can think about it, but now he can like, okay, let's do that. So anyway, thank you. But now these are my questions, Grant. Okay. Since we've been getting a lot of other businesses that wants to be a distributor of our cookware, but one thing that I've always asked them is that we want like, would you recommend an NDA before we disclose?
No,
You know,
no, I would not. I think that the NDA, before you disclose your little secrets of the universe, your secrets are hard work and discipline.
okay.
I
All
show
right.
people my stuff all the time. I'm like, it's ridiculous to get the NDA first. There's nothing you're doing that's so freaking brilliant that
Okay.
somebody can't knock you off. By the way, you guys that go out and get trademarks and stuff,
Yes.
somebody comes to me like, I got a trademark. I'm like, that was a ridiculous waste of money.
Okay. All right.
Because what it will cost you to defend a trademark is 1,000 times more expensive than the trademark.
Yes. Okay. That's what I thought. So too.
Thank
That's
you.
what.
And you guys need to know Judith, because when you go to Sydney, by the way, Sydney has the best vegetables on the planet and the nicest people. Make sure you know who Judith is so you can become friends with her and you got a bed to stay in. I asked Nicole to come up because I saw her wandering around. I just wondered why Nicole Fornin was here.
Why I'm here?
Mm-hmm.
To learn from you.
How can we help you?
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I mean, what I'm really interested is just learning how to invest. And I'm in, I've had money just sitting in my account, and I'm just really wondering, like, what to do. I feel so scatterbrained in the sense of, like, I'm trying to read so many different things that I want to feel more focused on it. So, I'm mostly interested in, like, real estate and where I should properly put my money in there. And, yeah, so I'm just trying to just learn and take it all.
So Nicole, the thing to do then is just to do your math. Follow the math. Okay, what is it you want? Just like let's just do a drill here. What do you want? Unmute yourself. There you
Okay.
go.
Okay. I want to own multiple income properties so that I have passive income so I can start a family and feel safe.
Yeah, good. So how much money do you have?
Right now I have about 70 grand.
Okay, and how much money do you want?
Wow. Okay. I thought I would need the answer of how much would I need for a certain type of property. So that's where I was trying to understand, but
Yeah, but then what you'll do is
$500,000?
you're stuck on a budget. Like when you go to the grocery
Yeah.
store, you guys make a list, and you're like, I know what I'm going to the grocery store for.
Right.
Okay.
So
Don't look for the property. Look for what do you want. What number? Like my first real estate, I was just going for a certain number.
okay.
So what number could you live on just from a real estate investment?
I mean, I'd love something around $600,000. I feel would get me.
No, how much money
you know,
do you need? How much money do you need coming in every month?
Oh, me. Oh, okay. I mean, for that, oh God, I don't make 20 grand a month would be awesome.
Yeah, how much you making now?
Well, I just started, my business boomed last year, which is pretty amazing. So I fluctuate each month anywhere from 10 to, I made 23 grand 1 month, but anywhere from 10 to that.
We're gonna make up a little target. Are you gonna make 10 grand this month from your business?
Yes.
Okay, good. So first target for you should be, and I've said this before in many rooms like this. Your first passive income target should be to match your earned income.
Okay.
Passive income is going to come from the real estate. Your earned income. I don't want you to not pay attention to your earned income. I don't want you to turn that off. Otherwise, you just go backwards. The goal is to get a second flow, third, fourth flow, right? 5 flows, 6 flows. It's not to give up a flow. And a lot of people just
never. Only add.
So to get 10,000 a month, that's $120,000 a year. I'm going to divide that number by, where do you live?
I live in LA.
You're in Los Angeles, terrible place for real estate. But
No, I know, and I want to buy somewhere else, but that's where I'm like, okay, there's target cities and there's things
good.
outside
so
that
look,
I understand, but where, and how do I start that?
you need $2.4 million that will earn 5% to produce $120,000 a year in income. I'm just doing math.
Okay.
Or I need $120,000. I'm sorry, $1.2 million that earns 10% a year.
Okay.
Or I need 750,000 divided by 0.15, 500 grand that would earn. Let me see, is that right? 120,000 divided by 15. Or I need $800,000 that earns 15%. See, I'm just going to keep doing the math. Now I know what to look for. Okay. Now you only have 70 grand, so I say, oh, I need $800,000 in investment money. Now I know what my target is from your business, so you can start storing up the cash.
Yeah.
Not saving cash, storing up the cash from your first business. You take all that business, all that money, and you start stacking up until you got 800 grand, and then you pile into a $3 million piece of real estate. 10 years from now, you're going to be a rich little girl, a rich, older girl.
So you're
But
saying
again, guys, it's volume times margin plus time.
right, but so it sounds like I'm not going to be able to get that investment property until you're saying compound each year's and.
Well, unless you take the advice I gave the gentleman earlier, where I said, hey, take your 70, find 9 other people that have 70, and manage that asset. Or you could take the 70. Another way to get there is you take the 70 that you're going to store anyway. You dump it off at Cardone Capital once you're qualified, and you just keep putting the 70 in until one day you look up, you got the same $800,000 invested. It doesn't matter whether it's with you or with me. If you earn 15%, you get there.
Okay. And
So
where
all I did was,
is
I took your target. I divided it by the expected interest return on my investment. Like we hit a 15% target on our investments annually. So if I divide 120,000 a year, that's what you said you wanted. If I divide that by 0.15, I want to earn 15% on my money. Then that says I need 800 grand invested.
Yeah.
And then I know what to go find. Not, I'm gonna look around the neighborhood and see what's for sale.
Right. No, I'm definitely not looking around LA. I know that there's target cities and things like that. But I it sounds like, is there something that I can do faster? Because it sounds like each year, compiling that money is going to take me a while to be able to buy my first income property.
You could be in a deal tomorrow if you wanted to be. With the 70 grand, you would get rid of the 70 grand, and you would be in a deal tomorrow. And then when you get another 70 grand, you buy another deal. Like the only way to get to 800 is to start investing the 70.
Right. And investing in that 70, where are you? You're saying to put it somewhere to like.
I'd find somebody like me. I'd find somebody like me, and I would keep the main thing, whatever you're doing right now to get the money. And I would find somebody you trust, somebody like Jared. Jared makes a lot of money with me. Jared's never looked at a piece of real estate in his life. He gives the money that he earns working with me, dumps it into the real estate, and I do the work. Go ahead, Jared.
And
that's what I was gonna say. Like when I was getting started, I had 100 grand. I was probably making 12 grand a month at the time, and I'd done that for enough time, and I was saving every penny that I had to where I just dumped it all off with him, went down to zero in the bank accounts, and then had to figure out how do I go get another 100 grand. And at the time, the 100 grand seemed like an impossible target.
When Jared wrote the first check, he showed me his balance was zero. He literally had $56 or something.
Actually, that's exactly how I found you, by telling somebody that I wanted to invest in real estate, and that was like my goal for the year or target, depending on how it was a lengthy one.
Yeah.
And they were like, look up Grant Cardone, and that's exactly how I found you, and that's where my interest even came up, because I love to learn, and I love to learn about real estate, but I'm like, there's somebody so much farther in this than I can be right now, that I would be. That's why you're saying you can put this money into your Cardone investments, and I'm like, yeah, where is that? Because here you go.
It's CardoneCapital.com. I'll give you a number you can text tomorrow, 305-407 0276. And see, this is where people get screwed up, guys. This is why people never invest, and this is why the middle class stays in the middle class and never creates wealth, because they never do the math, because they're like, oh, I want to own the real estate. I want to learn about the real estate. I want to be the 100% owner. That's not math. Okay, Warren Buffett has never managed a company in his life. I think a lot of people miss that point. Warren Buffett is not an entrepreneur. Warren Buffett is an investor. He invests in things that cash flow and that has good management.
Yeah.
He does not manage one company. You guys realize that, right? Never started one company, by the way. Never started a company in his life. And the whole world is running around trying to start their own deal. So,
Well, Liz looking for him to advise.
Yeah, so that's great. I'd love to have you as an investor. You seem like a good person. You don't seem like you cause us any problems. And what'll happen as soon as you get rid of your 70, I'll guarantee you replace the 70 faster than you saved it last time.
But the thing is that it ends up becoming a game, and the amount of creativity that you get in your primary business to go, I need to get to 25,000 every month. I need to get to how do I get to 25,000 every month? How do I get to 50,000 every month? Because I got to keep putting money away, and then it just becomes this game in the amount of creativity that you have in your primary business, because you're putting your money away somewhere where you don't have to think about it, and then you know that you want to do that again as fast as possible. So then all that creativity pours back into your core business, and that's how I was able to get millions with Grant. Is because I kept that bank account at zero and then kept coming back to the business going, how do I do that again? But I want to do it faster and I want to give him more. And it just creates this flow where, you just get a lot of velocity. So thanks so much for your question. It was great having you, Nicole.
Nicole, let me just explain one other thing, Jared, and then we can wrap up. But Nicole, your 70 grand will represent about $200,000 worth of real estate. So what you don't know is if you just did that every year for the next 5 years, you'd have $1 million worth of real estate. You wouldn't even know it. So again, guys, you have to figure out how do you keep your main target the main target. You get some money, you take the money, you get rid of it, Get rid of it where you don't lose it. Never lose the money, ever. Okay? That's why I took that 100 and brought it to the bank. I didn't want to lose the 100. Okay? And then I'm going to go get money from people, other people again, whatever her services or products are. I'm going to get more money because basically your customers now, Nicole, become your investment vehicle for the real estate that's going to create wealth for you. Okay? All right, Jared.
Let's go to Brad. Brad Lennon. Let's get two more. One with him, and then
Oh
one more
man,
question.
you're killing me tonight, bro. You're killing me. You guys enjoying this? Please let my staff know if you're enjoying it. Please let us know if your questions don't get answered. Please send the questions in tomorrow. We have Facebook groups throughout the day to answer your questions when they're not done. If you're finding value, write a review on this. Where's the reviews at, Jared?
That is on the page, grantcardone.com/launch.
Launch, and there's a review at the bottom of the page, guys. I love reviews. My staff shares them with me, and so it takes 3 minutes to write one. Man, I'd really be blessed and humbled if you took the time.
Let's go, Brad.
Hey, what's going on, Grant? I remember hearing, when you first started in sales, you invest a lot of money into tapes and things like that. So how did you decide between whether it's money or time or energy, how much you invested directly into your sales, your business, and how much you said, I'm going to invest in just me, whether that's reading books, listening to audios, the time, the money, the energy?
Dude, I spent a fortune on some tapes. Like it was $3,000. I had to borrow the money from my mother. That's why I never feel sorry about any of you guys spending money with us. I mean, I would take your last penny from you and not feel bad about anyone here. I'd have you go rob your grandmother, borrow money, and spend your last penny, and I'd be like, yeah, you did the right thing. Because I did that myself. I borrowed $3,000, which is like $10,000 today, from my mother. I was ashamed to do it. And I got a set of tapes, must have been this big, had to buy another machine to play the tapes. And I listened to those tapes every morning for an hour before I went to work. Role played for 40 minutes when I got to work. And then when I came home for work, that's all I did. I went to meetings. I went to 12-step meetings during the day, watched videos in the morning, videos at night, role played every day until those tapes were worn out. So I didn't buy a second program, by the way. I never bought a second program as a sales guy. I bought one program and got like 5 million. Well, I got a career of information out of it. It ended up becoming my profession.
Were those tapes like all sales technique stuff, or was it like mindset, positive?
No,
thinking?
it was technique only. It was technique, only technique. And I listened to those videos. See, one thing you guys do is y'all listen to something, not everybody, but most people, they watch something and think they did it. Like, I don't do that. I watch something, like I'll take one book. There's one book that I read 7 times. I've read that same book. It was a good book, dude. Why pick up another book? Shit, read that same book. Damn, I already paid for it. It's stupid to read another one. Why don't you just read the same one twice? You'll learn more. And who knows, maybe if I read it enough damn times, I'll actually understand it. How many of you seen a movie before, watched it a second time, and didn't even, you're like, I didn't see that shit happen. Imagine how much other stuff you're missing. And then what people do is like I'd rather read the same book 50 times in 1 year than read 50 different books. Maybe I'm a dumber guy. I don't know. I'm not Bill Gates.
Thanks.
So, are you on Cardone U, Brad? Yeah, go hard on that thing, bro.
Yeah,
Repeat it. Go get certified all the way to advanced. Cardone U is the bomb. We don't talk about Cardone U enough. It is the bomb. It is the Mac Daddy. It's got, you never, ever graduate from Cardone University.
Thanks for that, Brad. Appreciate your question. Let's go last question, and then we'll let Uncle G go. Evelyn, you're up.
I was going to the gym when this started when you texted me, Jared. I forgot completely.
Good morning from Dubai. Hi.
Dubai, I love you.
I know, Grant.
Don't say goodbye, say Dubai.
It's Dubai, and first of all, I say hi from Mohammed Albana, your friend in Dubai. You remember?
You tell Muhammad I love him like a brother.
I will say that. I just tagged you both in my last post on Instagram.
Thank you so much.
Most
and
welcome.
do you know the Sheikh what is his name? Starts with an N. He picked me up in Abu Dhabi.
Oh gosh, no, I cannot answer that
Yeah.
question. Maybe Mariam, she will know. He's also in the call.
What is it, Jared?
Nahayan.
Yeah, Nahayan.
No, I don't know. Mariam,
Anyway.
she will know maybe.
He's the Sheikh of tolerance, and he was the Sheikh of education, the Minister of
Oh.
Education in Abu Dhabi. He picked me up in a helicopter, flew me to Dubai, and I'm getting that similar helicopter delivered to me next month.
Awesome. Amazing. Awesome. That's a great story.
And so
Okay.
the point of that story is he made a dream a reality. I tell people, man, have the dream, touch it. Find
Yes.
something and touch it.
That's so true. And that's the power of Dubai. Nothing is impossible here. Nothing.
That place is
Nothing.
crazy.
It is. It is. So we are looking forward to see you here again, Grant.
Good. Why don't you bring me out? Let's go.
We were talking about it this week. We really were talking about it to have a next growth conference here.
Yeah, you got to quit talking about it.
Well, you'll hear from us very soon. So my question is actually, I'm running 2 agencies, and sometimes I don't want to give up on my first one, because that was like follow your passion and do what you love to do. Now the first one I'm running almost 5 years. It's for architects. We do the technical design and the engineering design. Now I have so many opportunities in the meantime in Dubai related to real estate, and sometimes I feel like I cannot step into a third opportunity. But I hear you now saying today, like, yeah, just follow where the money is, because the first agency is going quite slow on today, because I don't know, yeah, for some reason I put more attention in my second agency, and now I see all the opportunities coming for real estate, and it's holding me a little bit back because of the reason, like, can I really go into a third opportunity? But now I hear you saying, like, just follow the money. So
You got to get focused. You got to decide.
mm,
You know, if you need water, what are you going to do?
yeah, take it.
So
Yeah.
that's how you need to approach your vehicles.
Hmm.
Your vehicles being whatever's going to get you to the next place.
Hmm.
But you can't keep hopping around.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
why so many people. That's why there was so much of civilization went to the Nile River.
Hmm.
They didn't go there because they were passionate. They went there because they were thirsty.
Yeah. Hmm.
So you got to follow the flows, follow the money.
Yeah, it is in the first agency. I still have employees, and I don't want to lose my focus on that, because that's where the most clients are. That's where the most employees are. On today, it's still 3 people left. I come from 8, now 3. So I still need to keep my focus. Imagine that I run into a third opportunity, which I really, really want to grab. How can I keep my attention on that? Divided in 3.
Yeah. How can you do that? I mean, I don't know. You either can or you can't. Like,
Mm.
if the payoff is big enough, you'll do it. If it's not, you won't, and you'll just end up with a third meal and a third meal that you burn in the kitchen.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Keep the main
Okay.
thing the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing until you don't have to pay attention to that main thing for it to be the main thing.
Yeah. So
And then
true.
get a partner. My second business, I had a partner. My third business, I had a partner. My fourth business, I had a partner.
That's true. That's something I have to consider. Just
Start
take
adding some partners. Start adding some partners. Thank you for being here. Okay. All right, guys. What do you got to do this week? Okay. Get the workbook. GrantCardone.com/launch workbook. If you want to be part of the VIP and get the support each day, I know there's going to be a lot of phone calls from the 171 people that are here into the office tomorrow, asking for explain this, support me on that. I need help with this. If your questions want answered, GrantCardone.com/what, Jared, for the VIP?
/launch VIP.
Launch VIP. GrantCardone.com/launch VIP. So my staff will help you and support you. We have about 40 staff there that are coaches that will support you, help you, guide you. That costs me money. It's going to cost you something. We either hold your hand, help you, support you, or you do it by yourself. Either way, I'm good. The reviews, the review button is down at the bottom of the page, grantcardone.com/launch. Just do that for your boy GC. I'm asking you. Do me a favor. Throw me a bone. Okay? If you haven't gotten your GrowthCon ticket and you want to come spend 3 days with me and a bunch of superstars in March, it's in Miami. It will be sold out. If you're committed, you'll show up. If you're not, you'll figure out why not to come, or the dates, or oh my God, blah, COVID, or whatever. If you're committed, you'll be here. The dates don't matter. The hotel don't matter. The price don't even matter. When you're committed, you don't care. It's just like, I got to be there. If you're one of those people that got to be there, the website's grantcardone.com/.
10x.com.
So it's called 10xgrowthcon.com. If you don't want to travel and don't want to spend the money to get over here, I think you can get a virtual, or is it the website, Jared?
10xgrowthcon.com. They can get it there as well.
Yeah, but secure your spot. Either way, secure your spot.
It's
Okay,
gonna be,
next week. Next week, Jared.
Next week, the next thing that we're going to talk about is who
That's your money. We're gonna make a list. We're gonna figure out who they is that you need to bees with, nose with, hang with, club with, talk with. All right. Chopping it up, 10x.
All right, guys. So make sure you check out Undercover Billionaire this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Primetime slot. This is week 2, episode 2 of Undercover Billionaire. It's going to be crazy this week. Insane watching this guy scrap, trying to build his $1 million business in 90 days. Hope you guys all tune in. Watch live on TV, Discovery Channel. Check your local listings for times of the day.
Bang Discovery Channel as many times you can. Say, hey, y'all need to chop this show up. Y'all did all this stuff. This guy gave you 90 days of his life. Y'all need to chop this up. You owe America. I told him this already. You guys owe America to make this show an educational platform that is entertaining, that can show people the way out. You're confusing the public. They don't know who they're following. Am I in a farm now? Am I in a RV? I don't know whether I'm in Tacoma or Pueblo. Shit, you freaking me out. I'm losing my mind. Okay, we got one chick picking grapes and Cardone going for a $10,000 check. Y'all decide who y'all want to follow, but you need to just bang Discovery. Don't tell them I said that shit though, okay? Just beat the hell out of them.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here. We'll be here next week, same time, 8 p.m. East Coast time for the next edition of Launch 2021, Mr. Grant Cardone's coaching program. Have a monster week.
10X.